Ya Alimadat. In this short presentation, we will explore the Quran. We will provide an overview of the Quran, how to find a surah, a chapter in the Quran, how to find an ayat, verse in the Quran, and how to tag the Quran. Let's take a look at an example of a page in the Quran. In this case, we will look at Surah 1. When looking at your Quran, you can find the surah in two ways. One is at the top of the page, which indicates the name of the surah and the surah number. In this case, Surah 1, Surah Al-Fatiha, the opening. The second way is indicated within the yellow box, where you can see the surah name in English and Arabic. Lastly, you can also find the verse number in the first column of the same page. The Quran has three columns. The first column is the English translation. The second column is the Arabic transliteration. And the third column is the verse in Arabic. Let's revisit how to find a chapter. We can find the information about a chapter in two ways. The first is shown here in the yellow box. And the second is also shown here indicated in the yellow box. In this case, we can see that this is chapter 1, the opening, Surah Al-Fatiha, and chapter 2, the cow, Surah Al-Baqarah. Another way to locate a surah is by looking at the top of the page in the Quran, noted here by the two yellow circles. Again, we see Surah 1 and Surah 2 shown here. When looking for ayats in the Quran, we can see that this can be found in the first column as shown by the arrows here. In this case, we see ayat 1, verse 1 in Surah chapter 1. In the second example, we see ayat 2, verse 2 in Surah chapter 1. Subsequently, we can also see this in chapter 2, indicated here. We can see ayat verse 1 in chapter 2, Surah 2, and ayat verse 5 in Surah chapter 2. Now that we understand how to find the surahs and ayats in the Quran, we can review how to tag the Quran. To tag the Quran, take a post-it tag, label the tag with the respective surah using a permanent marker or pen, and place the tag on top of the page as shown here, indicated by the square box. You will do this for each surah, in total 114 surahs, on their respective pages. Once you have tagged all the surahs, chapters of the Quran, you will see the surahs numbered alongside of the Quran as shown here. This will make it easy for you to find the chapter and the verse, as well as to highlight and underline verses as needed. Now, we will share a few resources, including various types of Qurans, links to videos on how to tag the Quran, and references for purchasing the Quran. These are a few examples of various Qurans. Here, you can see different versions in English. And here, you can see a few versions in Urdu. These are two links that are provided that will help you further navigate the Quran and tag the Quran. Lastly, these are a few references for you to purchase the Quran.